I'm Erin Cash from Internet Safe Education, and I'm a former undercover detective in the online world.
Erin, what do you think are the most common mistakes that a parent makes when it comes to trying to keep their children safe in the cyberspace world?
I think parents don't want their kids to get left behind in the digital world. We know technology is coming forward in leaps and bounds that we can't even imagine the job titles our kids are going to have. So we feel pressured that we want to give them that device so that they don't get left behind. We also want to give them that device because we want to keep them safe. But what we know statistically is the device can actually lead to behaviours that could make them most targeted in the online world. It could open them to cyberbullying, grooming, both by adults and also by peers. We also know the device can lead to distractions, which disconnects them from the real world. So it makes them more susceptible to, really simple things like trip injuries, not being aware of their surroundings, not being aware of what's happening, but also being really reactive to what people are saying to them online rather than connecting to the real world, connecting to their education, connecting to their family, and being involved with what's around them. And we know that their brains, they've got these precious brains that are forming at this age. The information that's coming in is going to be really important. We know 83% of their time is going to be just scrolling, and we can't have control of the information or the quality of information that is going into their brain. So while we're thinking that we're actually putting them at a disadvantage by not connecting them to the online world, we could actually be exposing them to content, to social interaction. That means that at a really formative age, they could be not safe, seeing unsafe behaviours, seeing dysfunctional relationships happening, and we're not keeping them safe from that online community.
So what are the tips for a balance? Because kids use the internet
They
as
do.
part of their education.
They do.
It's also a way of connecting with their peers in a gaming, etc. So how do you find that balance as a parent?
Kids love to be able to feel safe, and they feel safe by having boundaries within the home. A lot of what I teach is talking to the kids about how their brains and body is developing. So reaching out to teachers and to adults to be able to give them those boundaries. So you are the king or queen of your own castle, and it is okay to enforce boundaries with our devices. So it might be that devices are in public if we're like at the kitchen table, if we are online, so then we can monitor what content's going on. If they do face something online, any gaming is going to be in a public place within the home, like in the lounge room. Having a look at their timings too. We all go crazy. Even adults are sitting there scrolling at 11 o'clock at night in that wheel of internet death where we're like stuck on Wi-Fi mode, where we can't extract ourselves out of that situation. Our kids are exactly the same. We find they also go into those patterns of addiction. So when we have those boundaries to say, enter into contracts of you can only have a half an hour of screen time. I have control over the apps that you're going to use. I have control over what times you use it, and understanding, particularly from my law enforcement background, that your child will be targeted or more likely to make mistakes online if they're in their bedrooms by themselves, unmonitored, between 7 o'clock at night to 7 o'clock in the morning. So you might have the boundary that devices are out and off at a certain time within the night, so that at least puts the boundaries in place for them to be able to get in good sleep, good rest, and not being targeted at a time when you're in a bedroom, they're in a bedroom, and they're most at risk of being either making bad choices or being in a situation where someone is going to target them online.